guys heard of Tinder? Come on, raise your hands, don't lie to me. I know a few of you have profiles. Now, for those of you who are unfamiliar with it, Tinder is a dating app that matches individuals based on physical attributes alone. So you get a picture of someone, and then you get to decide, yeah, this could work, or no thank you. Now, what if I told you that this very mentality applied to selective breeding in fish can actually help fight global hunger? Curious? So let me tell you how my research in creating the perfect, let's say, Tinder account for Nile tilapia in Egypt can not only help feed those 1 billion individuals fighting food insecurity daily, but reduce pressures on already overfished populations and improve the livelihoods of those in developing countries. Now, selective breeding relies upon taking a population and using the natural genetic differences within that population to breed larger offspring. Now, let's think of our population of fish as all those profiles that you can find within the Tinder database. But instead of looking for that tall, dark, and handsome match, we're trying to find ourselves a big, muscular fish with a gentle soul. Now, by only mating these big and healthy matches with one another, we're able to increase the size of our population with each subsequent generation. Ultimately, we get a population of supersized and super fit fish, which is fantastic because the faster we can grow larger fish, the more people we can feed, and the more people we can employ. Now, unfortunately, because we're mating increasingly related individuals with one another, there is a downside. We do get a bit of inbreeding, and when we mate hillbilly fish with one another, we get a slew of problems from deformed offspring to decreased fertility and a greater susceptibility to disease, which could ultimately lead our breeding program to crash. Now, to help solve this problem, we have to monitor our mating schemes quite closely, and traditionally this was done through paper pedigrees, so think big family trees like those used by the royal families. Now, if we've learned anything from the royal families with their history of mental illness, physical deformities, and genetic disorders like hemophilia, we know that this method just isn't enough. And the reason for this is it doesn't tell the whole story. There are typos and mistakes and falsified information, kind of like all those dating profiles online, or so I've been told. But you know what doesn't lie? DNA. And by using DNA, I've actually been able to uncover that up to 52% of any given generation of the Nile tilapia line that I'm working on is actually wrong. But the good thing about DNA is I'm not only able to identify these errors, I'm able to correct them. And in this way, I'm able to guide management practices and ensure that our supersized fish become superheroes, fighting poverty, damage to Mother Earth, and global food insecurity. Now think how great of a dating profile that would be. Thank you.